Gino, that was fantastic. And you always give great advice to your leadership. One of your advices is to be consistent. You had a really great video I watched the other day where someone asked you, what should agent do today? And you had a fabulous answer. Would you mind?
Sure. Okay. I think the question was, what's working for your agents today?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And my answer was, well, how about when they work? That's what actually works. You've got to work.
Yeah.
Some agents are really big in social media. The number one agent at all of home services, Andy C., who's right out of Intero, he's never on social media, right? Because he just isn't, right? Yeah. Now, some other people are pulling a ton of there. Some agents buy leads, okay? Some agents, hey, I'm going to buy lunch instead of leads, right? It's all sorts of different things. One time I had made a list, Lucy, of like 27 ways to do real estate. Probably no wrong way, but you got to work. Okay, if you don't work, it doesn't matter. I always kid Alan Dalton, doesn't matter if you call it a client base or a database or whatever, if you don't work it.
Right. Yeah. He's very particular about
yes,
that.
Yeah.
And Gino, what would you wish to someone who is in a leadership position, or maybe they just got promoted, or maybe they have their own business and the business is growing so fast and they can't even think what's going to happen tomorrow? What would you, and you've been in that position when your business grew so quickly.
Yeah, you just need to stay grounded. You need to have a routine. You're going to have to be incredibly disciplined. I sometimes talk about my meds: meditation, exercise, diet, and sleep. Keystone habits that create small wins, right? You have to almost have a routine and a system. That's what got, if you talk to Ray Mesa, that's what got him to lose all that weight. I talked to him about having that morning routine and having an evening routine and these different things that you do. So that is, you still have to constantly be putting positive stuff into your head and understand that you're going to get knocked down and you just got to get back up, right? So that I guess that would be the advice. It's also you want to have great people around you.
Yes.
And I've always been very, very fortunate to have great people around you. Even my chief of staff, Deetra, if you called her up and asked her right now, what is your main job with Gino, she'd say to keep Gino on his schedule, right? And then you have
and she's very good at that.
Yeah, you have a schedule, and then the key is you never make a commitment of your time without checking your schedule.
That's right.
Right, and then if you can, like everybody tells me, what is it? What makes an agent successful? And where Alan might talk about, you need what to say and how to name it and how to call it, I would say, hey, their ability to follow their schedule. All right, that's what's going to make people, successful at what they do.
What about you, RJ? You are in a slightly different industry. You are more technology. When you talk real estate, to me, it's all very personal. It's hugs, it's handshakes, it's visiting. With technology, it's a bit like you are with yourself. And what would you recommend for someone who has just a starter or who is in the business already?
Well, and I've collected this perspective from my journey as an entrepreneur and starting many companies of my own, working for Google and Apple. And there's one common truth across all of these things in technology. And technology, there's a lot of hard things about technology, and especially if we think about technology and its intersection with humanity. But one common truth across all of this that we always have to remember and keep in mind is be the customer. No matter how scientific and innovative and complex an innovation may be at Matterport, a new feature, piece of functionality, you start with the customer, the end user first. They're at the center of the room. They're at the center of everything we do. And it's, as a leader, it should be at the center of everything you do. That is what's going to guide you, to your best successes. You can't just invent this stuff in a vacuum, somewhere, in a dark room, and it's a pretty marvelous invention, and then just expect the world to embrace it and the industries to transform. Never going to happen. But that North Star is squarely centered on being the customer, understanding deeply what motivates them, what works, what challenges, what their fears are, what their ambitions are, and meet them halfway. And if you're really good, you'll go farther than halfway. You will surprise and delight them. And that's when you get customers for life. So when we think about that kind of framework and that approach, especially in technology companies, you can break through and you can have just as personal success as you can in real estate.
And I agree with you greatly. I've been in sales and marketing all my life, and I always had that theory and that rule of thumb. The reason I believe I was successful in sales is that I went with my agents to listing presentations. I was there to see what they're going through and how frustrating it can be, and how their sellers can be just nasty people, and how the marketing strategy has to really complement the property, but also please the seller. And also you can afford it as an agent. So I think my success was just like you are saying, that's my vision voice. You have to understand the other side of the street or you will never be there.
That's right.
And manage their expectations. Really
100%
manage their expectations. So much in real estate, advertising and technology is always directed at the buyer. But if you think about it, the seller is really the customer that we want. And Matterport does that so well because it impresses the seller on how we can show your property globally and very easily.
That's right.
So much is all about look, don't give me an advertisement on getting a buyer. You usually have buyers coming out your ears, right?
Yep.
If you control the listings, that's it. And that's what your product does.
That's right.
Which is great.
And you save time for your seller. They don't have to clean the house for the showing. So that's important.
That's right. And the house is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you can put 1 million people through the house at no extra cost.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you both. Have a
Great
great
to be
day.
here.
You
Cheers,
betcha.
everybody.
Cheers.
Thank you.